All right, guys, on this first video after the first quiz, we're going to go into what's called compositions of functions. Um, and I guess they're more widely known as this kind of FOG and GOF right here. Okay, where we say FOG, GOF. And all this means is it's kind of a combination of functions where whatever is listed second, you're going to put that function inside the X for whatever is listed first. So FOG is really the function of g of x. So you take that down. And then GOF is we switch it up. You're going to take whatever the function of x is and put it into x for g of x. All right, sounds a little confusing, but it's really just another way of doing substitution. All right, you know you've done that before. Composition of functions, this is going to have something to do with inverses, which we'll do for another day. All right, so if I were to just look at this first one right here, I have this f of x and g of x. If I want to find f of g, that's this, right? This f of g of x. So what you're really finding is the function of g of x is this 4 minus x squared. Here's the easy way to think about it. You're going to take whatever g is and put it into x for f of x. So this 4 minus x squared, this whole thing, which I'll put in parentheses, I'm going to plug right into that x for f. So when I do that, this x is replaced with this 4 minus x squared. And then you still have to add 2, so I'll add 2 to it. And then we can add the 4 and the 2 and get 6 minus x squared. All right. Now I'm not solving for x, right? It's not an equation. I just simplify it. And that's it right there. All right. Now if I switch it up and I do the other one, this is where we're going to take f and put it into g. So this is g of function of x. So this is g of x plus 2. So use a different color. So now this x plus 2, which is this, put in parentheses, we're going to put this into this x. All right. So we're putting the f into the g. So when we do that, we're going to have this. We're going to have 4 minus, and then this x squared is replaced with this, the x plus 2. Right? And that's squared. Now all we're doing is we're simplifying. So I can FOIL out that x plus 2 squared. So it's going to be 4 minus. If I FOIL out the x plus 2 quantity squared, it's x squared plus 4x plus 4. Put it right up here. Distribute the negative, and you're going to have 4 minus x squared minus 4x, and then minus 4. And then you combine your like terms, and the 4's cancel out. So you're left with negative x squared minus 4x. You could factor out an x, and then you would have x minus 4 on the inside. No need. Okay, you can just leave it like that because you can't combine any like terms. All right, so this is where if it's FOG, you're taking the G, putting it in the F. If it's GOF, you're taking the F and you're putting it in the G. All right, now for C and D, you can see the X, instead of just having this, it's a number. So we should end up with a number for the answer. All right, so if I were to do this one, what this would mean is we're finding the function of g of, instead of g of x, it's g of 2. So this is all this means. Right? You're just substituting twice. We're going to take this 2, and we work inside to outside, and we're going to plug it into the x. I'm going to plug it right into this, the x for the g of x. So that's going to be, let's see here, I'll still have function of g of 2 is going to be 4 minus, and then it's 2 squared. Well, if I evaluated this, I would get 4 minus 4, which is 0. So then you're going to find the function of 0. So then the 0, you plug this into the x for f of x. So I plug that right into here. So it's x plus 2, so it becomes 0 plus 2, which equals 2. All right, So now that I have a number for x, I'm just substituting it in twice, and I should end up with a number. So if I were to do d, this is just like saying this is g of the function of -3. So I'm going to take this -3 and I'm going to plug it into, again, this x right here, the x plus 2. So that's going to be, all right, I still have g, and that's going to be -3 plus 2, which gives us what, -1? So then the last thing you're finding is g of -1. And then g of -1, we're plugging -1 into the x for g of x. So it's this, again, it's this x squared. So it's going to be 4 minus, and then it's -1 squared. Okay, try to move this here. All right, so -1 squared is going to give us 1, so it's 4 minus 1, and it gives us 3. All right, so when you look at that, the whole FOG, GOF, it looks a little confusing, but all you're really doing is substituting.